This is a Star Citizen 311 tutorial, an easy beginner's guide. So 30 seconds before we jump in, I just want to give a quick overview of what Star Citizen is. In a nutshell, it's a massive open world universe sim. There's trading, mining, bounty hunting, box delivery. You can fight players and NPCs. But the most important thing to realize is that it's early access and you will run into bugs. These can get frustrating at times, but there is a pretty big community of people who are willing to help you if you get stuck. Feel free to join our Discord. We have a newbie help channel, or come ask me live on Twitch. I stream just about every day. So the first thing you're going to do is go to the website robertspaceindustriescom. Top right hand corner, you're going to click account and then enlist now at the bottom right. If you use the link in the bio, you'll go straight there. You'll start with an extra 5,000 credits for a referral from me, and also help me earn a free in-game Javelin. After you fill out your information and make your account, you'll head to the pledge store, top right, you'll see it. You'll have lots of options here. Personally, I recommend the Avenger Titan. It's $70, but it's just such a much better starting experience in my opinion. You can also earn ships in-game. So if you want to start with the bare minimum, I would recommend the Aurora for box delivery and exploration, and the Mustang Alpha for combat. After you buy your ship and you've checked out, you're going to click play now. It's going to give you a list of things you need to do. If you've done all of them, then you can click download now. Here you can see the PC requirements. I would say that you definitely need 16 gigs of RAM and you definitely need an SSD. Do not put Star Citizen on a hard drive. I'm sure you can figure this part out. So when you get to the main menu, click options in the bottom left. These are just some quick preferences I prefer when playing the game. I use full screen, high quality, motion blur off, VSync no, sharpening, chromatic aberration 0, and then film grain no. Back on the main menu, you have three options: Arena Commander, Star Marine. These are for practice. Then you have the PU or Persistent Universe. You're going to click that. You can customize your character. You can spend lots of time on this. For now, we're just going to click random. Then you're going to click Stanton System. You're going to have three locations. You can start out Lorville on Hurston, Area 18 on ArcCorp, and New Babbage on Microtech, which is beautiful. However, I started there for last tutorial, so we are going to start today at Lorville. So you're going to wake up in your bed, and the first thing you'll notice is if you hold F to interact, you can interact with so many things in the game, including your bed. But for now, we're going to press Y, and that's going to get us on our feet. The next thing you'll interact with is the door. So first thing, if you start walking around, you might be walking around kind of slow. If you just scroll wheel up, you don't have to press shift, you don't have to run. If you just scroll wheel up, you're going to move a whole lot faster. Then you can hold shift on top of that to run even faster than that. The same thing applies to holding a box. A lot of people ask, why am I moving so slow with a box? Well, if you just scroll wheel up, you're good. Next, we'll head for the exit. If you press F to interact and then scroll wheel, you can kind of use it as a digital zoom. This is really helpful for navigating signs. You'll see in Star Citizen has a lot of signs. They're actually really helpful. So we'll head out of the hub here, and we get our first view of the city of Lorville, kind of run down and corrupt, oppressed by the evil UEE, depending on who you ask. We're looking for the Metro Center, and we're going to be following the blue line to the spaceport. While we're on the train, if you hold F and then you right click, this is going to be your quick interaction wheel. You can see here, for example, if we click actions and then Mobi-Glass, we can open our map from here, or it tells you right next to it that F2 is the hotkey for it. And it's also really nice for taking your helmet on and off. So when we get off the train, we're going to be heading to the spaceport, and you'll see the vehicle retrieval console. This is something you're going to get very familiar with. This is where you're going to get a list of your ships as well as the status and information on them. You can see, for example, here I have my Mustang Alpha. Its status is none right now. That basically means it's in purgatory and it can be called out anywhere. It's a starter light freight. It's got 4 cargo, a cruise 1, and you can retrieve it here. We'll go ahead and do that. Hangar 9. We'll head to the elevator. We'll go to Hangar 9. Now in Star Citizen, you'll be able to interact with a lot of stuff on your ship. And what it's going to look like is this orange box around whatever the interactable item, and you'll usually get some blue text. Yellow means that you can almost interact with it, but you're standing in the wrong spot. So we're going to go ahead and get in our ship. There are lots of stuff that you can interact with in the cockpit, as well as the eject button. Don't hit that. It actually works. So we could fly ready our ship by clicking this button. We're just going to hold R and that's going to work the same. Flight ready just means everything is ready to go. Now the hangar doors are still closed. What you're going to have to do is press F11. That's going to open up your comms. You're going to go to friends. It's always under friends. You're going to radio Lorville landing services to leave. Before you leave, scroll wheel up to uncap your speed limiter. This will stop you from being stuck at 200 meters per second. Or if you want to limit yourself, you can always readjust it. To strafe up, you're going to hold spacebar. To strafe down, you're going to hold control. And you'll press in for your landing gear. To strafe left, you're going to hold A. To strafe right, you're going to hold D. To strafe forward, you're going to hold W. And to strafe backwards, you'll hold S. Now this reticle in the middle, this is going to control your pitch and your yaw. This is controlled with your mouse. And you'll see if you pull farther away from it, the stronger the reaction is going to be. This is how you're going to navigate and control your ship. If you hold shift, that is going to give you your afterburner. And if you hold X, that is going to give you your space brake. Next, let's talk about coupled and decoupled. You can see this dot next to CPLD. That just means coupled. And you can turn this on and off by pressing V. And if you're a beginner, I just want you to make sure this is on. If you're coupled, that just means that the effects of gravity and lack of gravity are not going to affect your ship. Your ship is always going to try to get to 0 meters per second. Next, we're going to follow the flight path out of the spaceport. Then we're going to get to the proper height to do our first quantum travel. Here, it's going to be about 9,000 meters. So if you press B, that's going to spool your quantum drive. You can see all the destinations in the sky, and we could just look at Everest Harbor and go. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to press F2. We're going to open our map. We're going to find Hurston, which is right here. We're going to double click that. It will zoom in. Then we'll find Everest Harbor. We'll double click that. It will zoom in. And then you'll click set destination. What you're looking for is the green line that is solid. Not dotted green line, solid green line. I like to click this a couple of times. So this time you'll spool up, but because you've already set your marker there, it's going to be the only marker in the sky. And if you pan away from it, it's even going to give you a little arrow to which direction you need to be looking. So you'll press B to spool up, and then you hold B to initiate quantum travel. So as we approach the station, you'll see these two little icons on the top right hand corner. What the satellite means is that you're in comms range. Any crime you commit will be detected by the authorities, and you will get a crime stat for it. The line through the bullet means Armistice zone, and what this means is that you are not allowed to fire. Now the interesting thing about this update is you can fire, you're just not allowed to. So if you shot at the ship, you can get in big trouble. There's some station defense that will shoot you if you have a crime stat and you're in the vicinity of the space station. So if you press F11, you're going to call for landing the same way you called to leave Lorville. It's important that you call for landing because if you try to land, you'll see obstructing parking area, impound vehicle in 43 seconds, and it will impound your vehicle. You will have to pay a fine, and even sometimes you can get a crime stat. Again, you'll press in for your landing gear, and what landing gear is going to do is it's going to set your spawn at the station. That we're going to go out of Armistice zone. I'm going to hold backspace to activate our self-destruct, and I could hold Y, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our eject lever here. So if you don't want to walk back to the station, then you can hold backspace again, and that's going to reset your character. I didn't mean for this to be so dramatic. You'll wake up in your bed at Everest Harbor where you set your spawn, and you can interact with the bed, get out. So let's pretend, oh no, you have this weird bug where you're stuck in the wall, or you're stuck in your ship or whatever. You can hold backspace again, and that's going to reset you back in your bed right wherever you set your spawn. So when you leave your habs, you're going to see the inner station transit. This is a huge improvement from last update. Each section of the station is going to be broken up into parts. This station, for example, has 3 parts. You have the cargo center, Galleria, and the hangars and habs. Hangars and habs are where we're at right now. Cargo center is where you're going to do trading missions in the future, and the Galleria is where you're going to buy all this stuff. And we're going to find the hangars and landing pads. If you find the vehicle console here, it's going to say our Mustang Alpha is destroyed at Hurston, and then we're going to have to claim it. Now, this usually takes a few minutes, and you can expedite it if you want. It's totally optional, but it does speed it up quite a bit. Next, let's talk about something very important: the burrito bar. There is a status system inside of Star Citizen, and you are going to get hungry and thirsty. Here you can see your thirst, your hunger. This is the individual health of each limb on your body. This is your body temperature, your oxygen, which replenishes in oxygen-rich environments, and your total health percentage. Simply, if this hits 0, you're dead. So if we quick buy a burrito and we interact with it with F, you'll see you actually can't eat it. And that's because you have your helmet on. So if you F and right click, you can unequip your helmet and you look down and now you can eat it. Same thing with the drink. You buy a drink, you can press drink or hold left click. And if you continue to hold left click, you'll drink the whole item. Next, let's talk about the Mobi-Glass. So if you press F1, you'll go to the main screen. This is your money, your name, your heart rate, your crime stat, just general stuff. First up on the very left, we're gonna have our comms tab. Here's going to be everything that has to do with communication with other players, your party, your friends. You can see under channels, we have global chat. This is also where your party chat would be if you were in a party, or if you were on a ship, you'd have your ship chat as well. You also have your friends list. Here you can invite them, remove them, mute them. You also have pending requests. If someone sends you a friend request or a party invite, it's going to show up here. Here in the middle, you have global chat. This goes to everyone on the server. Then on the right-hand side, you have members. This is going to be on whatever channel you're in. Again, if you're in global, this is going to be everyone in the server. If you're in party, everyone in the party. If you're on a ship, everyone in the ship. Under manage, you can turn off global chat on your visor. You can change the color of the text. You can adjust comm sounds. If you want to talk to someone in game through proximity chat, the default key is numpad plus. Good evening, citizen. Maybe you didn't hear me. Good evening, citizen. Hello? I think we're having a moment. Next is the vehicle loadout manager. You can select a ship and see what is on that ship and even change the parts out. You have your missiles, you have your quantum drive, your systems with coolers, shields, power plant, weapons. This really requires its own video, but for now, I just want to explain gimbals. Now, how you equip a gimbal is you need a size 3 gimbal with a size 2 weapon, or a size 2 gimbal with a size 1 weapon, so on and so forth. Now, when you're out doing combat, you're going to press G to cycle through this, and there are 3 modes if you have gimbals on. You have true gimbaled mode, and this allows you to shoot wherever your reticle is. You have fixed that just shoots wherever your ship is pointing. And then you have auto gimbal, and auto gimbal helps you aim. What you want to look for is the dotted circle. This is what I recommend for beginners. Next, you have your equipment manager. This is where you equip all of your stuff. This is where all the stuff you buy goes to your inventory. You got clothing, weapons, undersuit, armor. If we go to the elevators outside the hab from earlier, we can head to the Galleria. We're going to be looking for a shop that looks like this. We're going to buy ourselves a set of armor. Get out of this basic default suit. Now, we could buy it off the wall, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this console here, and we're going to go through and we're going to buy every piece individually. We're looking for the Link set as well as the Oracle helmet. Now, there's not any weapons here, but we can buy med pins. Now, we could buy the whole stock by clicking max, but we don't need that many, so we're just going to buy 10, as well as some oxy pens. Then in our Mobi-Glass, we're going to go to Equipment Manager, and we're going to equip one by one. We're going to go to Armor, and one by one, equip every piece of armor. We'll equip our med pins as well as our oxy pins. Then we're going to click save and equip. I like to click this a few times. If you do need to use a med pin out on the field, because let's say you forget to put on your helmet, you're going to press C to activate your med pin. That's going to bring you back to 100% health. Same thing, if you're losing oxygen, you can press B, and that is going to activate your oxy pin. Next, you have the star map. And this star map is all of Stanton. You have 4 planets, 1 planetoid, and lots of space stations. There's moons, and you can explore all this yourself. The basic controls is you double left click to zoom into something, and it will zoom you in. You can also use scroll wheel to zoom in and out, as well as double right clicking will bring you back to the full view. Next is the Mode Trader. Super simple. You can send money to anyone on or offline. You can send them aUEC, or you can send them merits, which is prison credits. We'll talk more about that later. Then we have the Contract Manager. There is lots of contracts here: delivery, investigation, bounties, mercenary work, and you're going to find most of that in the General tab. Personal is where you'll find the non-so-lawful missions like this mission here to take down a comm array for 19,000 aUEC. But for a mission like this, make sure you read the details. You are going to have to bring a crypto key with you. Accepted is where your missions you have are. History is the missions you've completed. And then beacons is where you can pay other players to do stuff for you. There's escort and also personal transport. You can pay a player, let's say, to take you to Everest Harbor for 1 aUEC. And sometimes people do it. Next is the live AR. This isn't really anything, not important. After that, you have vehicle maintenance services. This is where you repair, restock, and refuel whenever you're on a landing pad that you've called for. So you have to be on a landing pad that you've called for. And the last thing is the journal. This is just some lore text that you can read through if you want. And there's even some missions that use the journal, but for the most part, you won't spend a lot of time here. So now that we're familiar with the Mobi-Glass, we are going to accept a mission for the Bounty Hunter evaluation. Hurston is wanting us to take down a bad guy, and we're going to go do it in our Mustang Alpha. Now, keep in mind that this Mustang Alpha is default. It's probably not going to be super great at this. I'm going to leave my recommended build for the Mustang Alpha in the description, and you can build it out yourself. So we go to the star map, we set our location, we find our route, we spool up. And when we get spooled up here, it actually bugs out and it doesn't work. So what you're going to do in a situation like this where you get this bug is you just look away from the target. You'll start spooling up again, and then you look back at it, and it should work the next try. So when we get to our mission, it actually doesn't work. The targets don't spawn. This is usually the sign that the server isn't performing. So if this happens to you, you may want to consider changing servers, but for the sake of the tutorial, we're just going to find another mission. The next mission we chose was an ECN alert, and essentially it means that someone's in danger. This person right here, we press T to target them, and they are being attacked by this person over here. Again, if you press T, you can target them. You're going to press G to switch to auto gimbal mode like we talked about earlier. Again, you're looking for the dotted circle. So we'll start engaging our target. You see his shields top right go down, and he's dead. So what I'm doing here is I'm just strafing to the left, and depending on the server and depending on the mission, NPCs can be really hard to take out or really easy. These ones seem pretty easy, but I'm just strafing to the left. I'm trying to stay moving while I shoot, and you really just want to continue to circle them until they're dead. There are 3 types of missiles enemies can shoot at you: EM, IR, and cross-section. I know cross-section is a little hard to see. It's like a Wi-Fi symbol. And when an enemy missile locks you, it sounds like this. When you get missile locked by an EM or an IR missile, you want to use a flare by pressing H. And if you get a cross-section missile, you can't divert it. So you want to use a chaff countermeasure by pressing J. And this will literally break target lock on you for several seconds. You can also outmaneuver and outrun missiles if you're in something small and fast. As of this patch, missiles no longer have perfect targeting. So when you killed your last target, it should give you a mission complete. It didn't give that to us. I think this server is a little funky. I should have known better from earlier when that mission didn't complete that the server was whack. It's a pretty normal thing to do, so don't ever feel like you can't get to a stopping place and just server hop. After that mission, we did take a little bit of damage as well as we used some ammo. So we're going to just go ahead and restock, repair, and refuel. And what you're listening for is these noises, and you're going to see the whole flash here. That actually doesn't. There was one little bit that didn't get repaired. That's good enough for me. Worst case scenario, if you can't refuel or restock your ship, just scrap it, recall a new ship, and that's going to give you a fresh ship. So now that we've been the good guys, I'm going to do the unthinkable, and I'm going to be the bad guy. That's right, I'm going to shoot this UE scum. Now, doing that is going to land me a level 2 crime stat for assaulting an officer. Also, you see this fancy message on my screen that says, security alerted of your crime stat, Armistice zone privileges revoked. What this means is you can't refuel, you can't call out ships, and you can't set your spawn at law-abiding stations until you get rid of your crime stat. So the UE is going to make quick work of me. I'm going to land myself in prison. Now, if we make our way down to the middle room, the console is going to say I have 57 minutes and 20 seconds left. Now, there are 3 ways to deal with your crime stat. Option number 1, you can literally just log out. Option number 2, you can earn enough merits to get out. How it works is 1 merit equals 1 second. So 3,600 merits is going to equal 1 hour. You can also use merits to buy stuff from the commissary. So to earn some merits, we're going to open up our contract manager, and we're going to take a mission to reset a O2 kiosk. It's going to tell me in the top middle of my screen where I need to go. So route 3, depth 9. So we'll go down to route 3 and we'll follow the signs all the way down to number 9. You look for the O2 kiosk here. You'll click vent and that's it. We make our way back to the middle console and it shows that we are eligible for release. And we earned 10,000 merits from that one mission. That's pretty good. If you don't have contracts available, the other way to earn merits is to mine. This purplish blue rock being the worst, green being the second best, and then by far pink being the best. This is Hadanite. You're only going to find this deep in caves at the markers 8, 9, 10 and farther, unless you just get super lucky. Now, if you're unlucky like me and your multi-tool bugs out, the only way to fix this, unfortunately, I've found is to log out and log back in or swap servers. Once you get that sorted out, what you're going to do is you're going to find your rock. You're going to hold right click. That's going to scan it. You have 3 bars, white, green, and red. What you want it to do is rise through white, stay in green, and never hit red. You're going to use your mouse wheel up and down to adjust your power level so that it stays in the green zone. Once the green zone fills out, the rock's going to break into gems. You can pick those up by pressing F and stowing them. Then once you collect all of your gems, you're going to head to the kiosk right before you get back to the main area. The more gems you have, the more merits you get, the quicker you get out. And the last way to get out of prison is to escape. But I'll let you figure this one out on your own. I want you to come over to this window, okay? I want you to come over to this window. No, you see the guys? Dude, I think this ship might be haunted. You can refuel, restock, and repair at outposts as long as they have A, an Armistice zone, and B, landing pads. This is super helpful when you have a CrimeStat and can't go to space stations. Using your MFD, you can go to the heat menu and overclock all of your weapons, your shields. This will make it perform better at the cost of overheating faster, and you can quite literally hear the difference. This icon here is your flight vector. It's where the momentum of your ship is going, and it's where your ship is going to go. This is great for maneuvering through obstacles. If you're in your ship, you can press tab. This is going to bring you into scan mode. You can hold right click and this is going to give you an area scan. It will show you ships nearby. And if you're in a mining ship, it will show you minables nearby. If you hold left click in scan mode, it will show you the name of the ship's health, the pilot, who's on board, if they have a crime stat, and the materials on board. If you go to your contract manager, you can accept a mission called Call to Arms. This is under Mercenary. For every player or NPC with a crime stat that you kill, you'll be rewarded extra money. If you have a ship with a bed, you can log out in your bed no matter where you're at, and you'll log back in the next server right where you were. If you're having graphical issues or just some weird issues in Star Citizen, deleting your shaders folder can solve a lot of problems. You can find this by going to your local disk, then program files, Robert Space Industries, Star Citizen, live, user, and then shaders. Delete this. Make sure on your RSI launcher you go to settings and hit verify before you launch the game again. The best resource in Star Citizen for ship components is Urkel.games. Here you can see DPS, shield health, and all the component info. And if you click the shopping cart next to the item, you can see where it is in the game. A link to my Mustang Alpha build is going to be in the bio. If some terrible bug happens to you and you can't figure it out, you can always reset your account. Don't worry, this shouldn't get rid of any of your money or your items. You go to robertspaceindustriescom, you click account, you click settings, and then here you click character reset. You'll type in the bug, you'll type in your password, you'll hit submit, and this usually takes about 15 minutes. And with that, that is going to be the end of our tutorial. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope it helped. If you feel like it did, feel free to subscribe. If you have an idea for a video you'd like to see done on Star Citizen, let me know in a comment. And if you have any more questions, join the Discord. We do have a newbie help channel, or come ask me live on Twitch. I do stream almost every day. Yes, warp space. Yeah, what are you talking about? All right, these are the cargo decks, by the way.
I'm just gonna flash it. I know it too.
Welcome to Star Citizen. Good luck in the game. Godspeed. And until next time, this is Captain Berks signing off.